You write a Playwright test. It passes on your laptop. You push your code, the CI pipeline runs, and the test fails. So you run it again, and it passes. You add a retry, bump the timeout, and label it Flaky. But most of the time, the test isn't lying to you. The pipeline is. The code is exactly the same, but the environment executing that code has drifted. This graphic shows the reality of that drift. Browsers rely heavily on the operating system beneath them. On the left is your local laptop, complete with specific shared libraries, graphics drivers, and font renderers. On the right is your CI cloud server, running a different OS version, missing key packages, and often completely lacking a display server. The most effective way to eliminate this gap is to lock your execution environment inside the official Playwright Docker image. There is a trade-off. Pulling a Docker image introduces cold start latency. Because of this overhead, this setup is only beneficial if your test suite is large enough, typically over 100 tests, to offset that initial load time. If your suite meets that threshold, fixing the underlying environment removes the illusion of flaky tests and saves hours of wasted debugging time. The first step is writing a Dockerfile that pulls the official image directly from the Microsoft Container Registry. This image comes pre-configured with a specific Ubuntu base, all the necessary system dependencies, and the required browser binaries for Chromium, Firefox, and WebKit. When you pull this image, look closely at the version string. You must explicitly pin the image tag to match your Playwright framework version. Using a floating tag like latest sabotages the setup. A floating tag automatically pulls newer versions over time, meaning the system packages and browser binaries change unexpectedly. That reintroduces the exact environment drift the container was built to stop. To maintain stability, update the Docker image tag and the Playwright framework version together in the exact same pull request. Once the image is pulled, we need to address how tests run inside it. Docker containers do not have a display server. If a Playwright test accidentally attempts to open a visible, headed browser window in this environment, the process won't gracefully fail. The container pipeline will just hang indefinitely, waiting for a screen that doesn't exist. To fix this, open your Playwright config file and explicitly set the headless property to true. You can also enforce this with a strict CI environment variable. With headless mode strictly enforced, the CI runner will launch the browsers and execute the tests instantly, completely avoiding the timeout trap. Combining a rigidly pinned image version with enforced headless execution guarantees an identical, unbreakable environment for every single run. Now we run into an operational hazard: observability. By design, Docker containers are ephemeral. When a container finishes its task and exits, all the data generated inside it is immediately destroyed. That means you lose your HTML test reports, your screenshots, and your detailed trace files, the exact things you need to debug a failure. We bypass this destruction using Docker volume mounts. By mounting a specific directory on your host runner to the container's output path, those trace files survive the container's exit and are ready to be uploaded. But there is a hidden failure point here. The container process writing those files might use a different user ID than the host runner. This permission mismatch causes the final artifact upload step to fail silently. You resolve this by explicitly setting the output directory permissions and ownership directly within your Docker file before the tests run. When artifacts are safely extracted and persisted, debugging a CI failure turns from a blind guessing game into precise, targeted science. With the environment locked down and artifacts secured, we can optimize for speed using the GitHub Actions matrix strategy. This lets you spin up multiple isolated Docker containers to process tasks simultaneously. Because each Docker worker is fully isolated and shares no state with the others, they won't interfere with each other. The common mistake here is how teams divide the work. Most pipelines shard test suites purely by the raw count of tests. If one shard gets all the complex, slow-running tests, that single slow shard bottlenecks the entire pipeline. Instead, utilize Playwright's built-in sharding combined with a test cache. This method divides the suite based on historical test execution time, or wait. This Gantt chart compares the approaches. The top bar shows the naive method, where a single unbalanced shard drags total runtime to 47 minutes. The bottom rows show the weight-based method, producing 4 balanced 14-minute parallel bars finishing at the exact same time. There is a hard technical limitation to note. The official Playwright Docker image is strictly built for Linux environments. If your application has Windows-specific rendering behaviors that must be validated, do not try to force them into this container. Instead, add a dedicated Windows runner to your matrix alongside your Linux containers. Weight-based sharding inside isolated containers cuts out artificial wait times, delivering massive speed gains without requiring you to rewrite a single line of test code. You now have an identical containerized environment that scales horizontally for speed and safely extracts trace files on every run. The impact on the development team is immediate. The chaotic arguments over whether a flaky test is real or an environment glitch disappear. When this stabilized pipeline flags a failure, the team trusts that the application is genuinely broken, not the runner. Check the video description below to copy the exact GitHub Actions template and Dockerfile we use to build this architecture. A fast pipeline saves you time, but a CI signal the entire engineering team can implicitly trust is priceless. If this helped you stabilize your test suite, like the video and subscribe for more engineering deep dives.